We're gonna get a lot of questions. So which one are you going to?
I'll do both. I usually flip through both.
Uh, All right, here we go. Welcome back to the Snapback with T-Mac post-game show brought to you by Wall to Wall Construction. The Snapback with T-Mac is brought to you by Wall to Wall Roofing and Construction, Louisiana's go-to roofing team for fortified roofs, top-notch craftsmanship, and elite customer care. Just like a great offensive line protects the quarterback, Wall to Wall protects your biggest asset, your home. Call 225-605-WALL and protect your blind side. That's a way to start, our blind side today. Garrett Nussmeier got hammered back there in the pocket. Vandy wins that game 31-24. It's not a good state in the LSU football program right now. And first off, I want to hat tip to Vandy and Diego Pavia. Dude is a player. He's a dog. He's a guy that anybody would want on his team. Vandy's offensive coordinator, the way they scheme, the plan they come up with around him is unbelievable. So hat tip to Vandy. I think if you change those helmets and you put an Alabama and an A on there, you put that G like Georgia, you think different about this team. It's just the history of Vanderbilt and what they've been. But that football team they put on the field was a pretty good football team. All that said, the LSU football Tigers, we're at a point right now, a crossroads with this program, with this football team, and there's going to have to be some decisions made. We're not nearly good enough offensively, schematically. We're not good enough up front. I think we have the skill guys to get it done. Outside, I think we have a bright future with Durham and Harlem Berry. Trades Green, who had a really good game. Aaron Anderson went completely healthy.
Xavier Thomas.
Thomas made a few plays, had the one big play. Who else? But we just I feel like it's time, and I think it's the nature of it. Those guys make a lot of money coaching positions or coaching the offense or the defense, and there's going to be some heat put on this program, and I think rightfully so, because right now you're looking at a 5-2 record. You still have Alabama on your schedule. You still have Arkansas with the way we're playing right now. I know they fired their whole defensive staff, but if we can't get it done offensively, I don't know if that's a win. And then you still have Oklahoma on your schedule, Western Kentucky. That should be a win, but we're 5-2 now, and you're looking at possibly, and it's not unrealistic that we could possibly lose 2 more games with Alabama and Oklahoma. So that's where we are as a program. I'm sure the heat's going to turn up on Coach Kelly and his offensive staff. You got to be better. This program, what's been built and where the history, the tradition since the late 90s to 2025, everything in between there, have set a bar of excellence. And right now, we have the talent defensively, one of the best defenses we've had at LSU, and we just can't get it done. What's your thoughts, Madden?
We don't have an offense. We have a great defense, but we don't have an offense that backs them up. It's like we're running the same plays, and they're not working. We tried that little screen to the left multiple times, and it kept not working. We can't get the run game going. We just got to change something up offensively.
And that's what frustrates me is you watch other teams and you see other teams in college football, heck, in high school football, at the pro level that are more innovative. They do more things formationally. I know people aren't going to want to hear it, but my Falcons got beat by the Carolina Panthers 30-0, and they looked stale offensively. They went into a bye week and they changed some things
changed
with
it.
formations, shifts, and motions, and with Bijan Robinson, and that completely changed the outlook of their offense. They split him out wide. They motioned him from the backfield to the slot, motioned him from the backfield, and then they would start him out wide, motioning him back in the backfield and running. So I think, especially when you're struggling, you have to get more creative offensively. And I haven't seen enough. I mean, we ran the one little league play that almost got picked off, but I haven't seen enough attempt to try to change some things offensively when you're not having success. Let's go to some of the comments. Madden, what you got?
Paul Garrett said missed Whitweek's bad and Perkins had some critical misses.
Yeah, he did. Whitweeks he's a game changer, guy that definitely can make some plays for you. You're gonna miss him. I don't care what level it is. We missed him, uh, and I told Madden in that game, Perkins didn't play to the level. I made a little different comment. I probably can't say it on here, but he didn't make the plays that I thought he should have made.
Yeah.
What'd I say? I thought that it looked like he was smoking cigarettes. He didn't have the wind. He didn't have the speed. He wasn't the Harold Perkins that
we
we've
normally
seen,
see, yeah.
that we normally see making plays. And he had the opportunity on Pavian finally. But I'm sure we watch film. We missed him twice on the blitz because of our angle. With him, he likes to escape the pocket and roll back to the left. And then finally, at the end of the game, one of our DBs came after corner off the edge, and he knew Pavia was going to reverse, and he was sitting there waiting on him. So the missed field goal hurt early. That was big for us because we didn't bring their punter out on to the field until the fourth quarter. Neither team's punter. So and then when we get down to the 1 yard line, we try to go. I want to say we went off tackle to the left and we lose 2 yards. That sequence of events and the play calling there was unbelievable. You're not going to have any success. And it's almost like we don't have a plan once we get down there, that we're just winging it, flipping through the call sheet. I'll go with this, and we're not having a whole lot of success.
Dwayne Form says terrible play by the line and nothing by the coaches.
And that's another thing. We're hurt. Adams got hurt early in that game. Chester had to go out to tackle. Chester he's not a tackle. And for those of you that have never played the offensive line, and you see it in the NFL, and you start in the middle, the centers, their contracts aren't as big. You go to the guards, the contracts get a little bit more. Those guys make more money. And then you go out to the tackle spot, and those are the guys that are good. Those are the guys that get paid because it's a tough position. You're out there in space, and you got to have a specific skill set. So to ask a guy who started at center for us to go play tackle, I couldn't have played tackle. I would have been embarrassed out there. My arms it wouldn't even been funny, or it would have been funny. But to ask him to go out there, he was filling in a time where we're down. Not a good situation. He got bull rush once. Davis has gotten better, using his hands a little better, but still struggles. Madden, I know we got some comments on there. We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Joe Sloan, he's
I was just about to
I
ask
know
that.
well, go ahead. What you got?
It's like, do you think we should fire our offensive coordinator and try to get a new guy?
Yeah, we'll talk about it because I knew that was coming. I hate talking about coaches. I grew up as a coach's kid. So I really hate dogging coaches, dogging players, because that's their livelihood. They have kids, they have families, but like I talked about earlier, we're going to keep it real, keep it 100. It's time for a change. And I don't know what you do mid-season.
Yeah.
Like right now.
It's hard to get a guy mid-season.
Unless you feel like you have somebody on your staff that could be competent at calling plays. It's tough to do, if I don't know if you do it right now, because I don't know who else we would have on that staff, and we may, that could go call a competitive game against Alabama, against Oklahoma. because it's not like you still have a chance, an outside chance to make the college football playoff. I
Mhm.
think they posted it before
So
before this game. If LSU lost, they had a 19% chance. If Vandy lost, they had 11% chance to still make it. So there is still a chance. So I don't think you go make wholesale changes right now, because going to fire Joe Sloan or going to fire Brad Davis right now, for me, that's not going to help your football team this year win football games.
Mm.
And if you had somebody that could call plays better on that staff, he would be calling plays already, because we've kind of already started hitting that panic button when we lost to Ole Miss. I don't want to discredit Vanderbilt. That was a hell of a football
yeah.
team. But going into Nashville, to Vandy, with that Tiger on your helmet, with LSU on your helmet, you expect to go win.
Mhm.
I don't care how much you've been struggling. I don't care how good that program is. And we've built this thing up to get to that point. I say we uh, because I feel like I was a part of it early. But the players, the coaches, the fans that have been around this program, rightfully so, they expect to see things better when um, you spend the money in the offseason with the transfer portal. You go get better in the secondary. You bring in two guys up front that have been solid. Center's been solid. Thompson's been solid. Just everything else around it hadn't been great. You got anything else on there?
No hot seat. We can't afford staff buyouts anymore in an era of $20 million rosters. Scott Harrington.
Yeah, Scott, I don't know about what they can afford and this and that. At the same time, if I don't know. I mean, you look at what Penn State did with Franklin. I never would have thought that, and then Signetti up in Indiana. Uh, he put a little pressure, got a little leverage on them. His name started getting thrown at the Penn State job, and then he got which is crazy to me, a 10-year contract. For they re-upped him so he wouldn't go to Penn State, but for a college coach, and I know they got to spread it out, to get a 10-year contract, it'd be interesting to go look at it at the stats at how many college coaches have coached a 10-year period. I know first name that pops to mind is Kurt Ferentz in Iowa. I played with his son in Atlanta for a training camp. He was with us, but he's been there forever. You just don't see guys. Saban, he did his thing at LSU and then went to Miami and Alabama. Kirby Smart's been at Georgia. But for the majority of it, you don't see coaches that last forever. So a 10-year contract, I know I'm getting off target a little bit. I don't know what you do. I think you have to make some changes. I don't think it's now. But going into the offseason, if you come back with the same staff that you went into this season with, you're not doing this program any justice.
Yeah.
What else you got
Will
there?
Prescott says Baker can't figure out a running QB.
Yeah, I thought we had a good game plan. And like I talked about earlier, that offense is tough to defend. They knew it going into the game, and you watch it, they have given everybody trouble. And I think you could take probably any other quarterback in America right now and put them in that Vandy system, and they wouldn't be as good, because Pavia, like I said, he's a point guard. He sees the entire field. He knows where everybody's supposed to be. And then, every play is not it's not in rhythm. He gets thrown off and he doesn't panic. And his biggest plays come when plays break down.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what makes him so good. I felt like we had a good game plan. We needed to be good on first and second down. That's a good offense. And we were hurting a few key positions, and we didn't make the plays that we needed to. The biggest thing in that game was the tight ends. The catches their freaking tight ends made.
That's probably best tight end duo in the country.
Well, I mean, the two catches they made early and then the diving catch they made late, that was the difference in this offense in this ball game, because you see a lot of games, the two balls the tight ends caught early, a lot of games it tips off their hands and it's high and it's incomplete and it's a turnover on downs. Those guys went and made some big plays, and it just shows you momentum. When things get going right and you have positive vibes around your program, what can happen. There are positive vibes around Vanderbilt right now.
Can we talk about a positive in Trey'Dez Green on what he's done these past few games?
Yeah, absolutely. Trey'Dez, I love seeing his game evolve.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be honest with you. Saw him play here in high school at Zachary. Um, and he was young. He was in high school, and part of me thought, I don't know, just because of what I saw on the field, I saw his physical ability. But just being honest, we had trouble at Zachary with motions with him.
Mm-hmm.
He couldn't get. He didn't know when to motion, when he was supposed to be motioning. So I was like, I don't know if he can, because I knew what it takes to go learn a college scheme. And then, last year was a big adjustment year for him. And, it was a little bit slow, but I think now you look at Trey'Dez Green, he is a confident player no matter where they put him on the field.
He's way more physical than he was in high school. I'll say that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
He's more physical, but he has a better understanding of the game of football. You watch him, his formations, they can do whatever they want. They don't have to worry about that Trey'Dez is not going to know what to do. He's a complete football player right now, and he's getting better with his blocking, and I think that's the one area of his game that he needs to really keep working on, because that could be millions and millions of dollars that guy can make. He's a freak. If he can stay healthy, he's a guy that's tough to stop. I also want to talk about, I talked about it earlier, Harlan Berry.
Yeah.
I think the more we get that guy touches, the better he's going to be. He's a rhythm type of runner, and I think you have to get him a lot of touches to where he gets the feel of the guys up front. But he's a bright spot for us in that backfield. What else you got? I know it looks like it's blowing up.
Yeah, Will Prescott says we don't have anyone that can pressure the quarterback from a base package.
We really don't. You think about the history of the ends, some of the ends we've had here at LSU. You think about Arden Key. Arden Key could change a game when he was rushing off of that edge. Marcus Spears changed the game when he was on that D line. Glenn Dorsey, but he was in the middle. Shoot, I know I'm missing some guys. So we've had some stud pass rushers, but we don't have that guy like last week when we played South Carolina. And
it's Pyburn at times, but he wasn't there today.
Yeah, but Pyburn's not a pass rusher.
Yeah.
You could see that he's a clogger, and he's going to stop the middle. I mean, they said it on the broadcast. He's gotten 5 sacks and just can't bring them down.
Yeah.
A legit pass rusher is going to get there, and they have that different closing speed. So, the cat we brought from Florida State, is it Phillips?
I think so.
He's as close as we have to it, and that's going to be an area somewhere you got to go get. But elite pass rushers, you're going to pay big money in the transfer portal, and I think we got other spots we need to go get. What else you got, man?
Never in favor of firing coaches mid-season, but changes including offensive coordinator and offensive line coach need to happen after the last game. We need a dual threat quarterback and a new offense.
And that brings up a good point. Firing coaches midseason, I don't think, unless they're doing something outside of the football field, morally that's wrong. You don't do anything to help your program. I know the fan base is not happy right now, but to go fire a coordinator, an offensive coordinator right now, or just think about it on the other side. If we're talking about Blake Baker and you're saying go fire Blake Baker, who on that staff can do what he does? Nobody. And I'm not saying fire Blake Baker, because I love what he does and what he's been doing from our defense, but just flipping it to the other side. Joe Sloan has been building this package up front, and it's his package, and it's hard for another coordinator to come in with this terminology and everything that they've worked on from last year to camp. It's just not, it's not good. You got to work through it. It's going to be a struggle through the rest of the season. And Madden, we can go win out.
Mm-hmm.
At the same breath, I'm talking about we could lose 2, possibly 3 more games. This team could go win out if Nussmeier's not in a wheelchair. Dude is taking a beating back there, and you watch him. He's emotional. I know he had higher expectations of coming back this year and what this team was going to be about. And That's hard to take for a competitor. When you have high aspirations, you're going in as a Heisman hopeful, and then things go completely opposite of what you've been thinking. That's tough to handle as a competitor. But I think this is just my opinion, and I'm gonna have people that don't believe it. We're gonna look up in 4 or 5 years. Nussmeier, he's still gonna be a high draft pick. Everybody knows that knows anything about football. This offense isn't the greatest scheme for him. You know, he didn't have the right dogs up front. He's battled some injuries, and I'm not making excuses for Garrett Nussmeier, but I have a lot of faith in Garrett Nussmeier, and I've seen guys that have played at the pro level. He'll be a guy that will have a long career in the NFL, you know, and you never know if it's going to be a starting career or if he'll, get an opportunity and go make the best of it, or if it'll be a backup. I think he's good enough to play in the NFL. And you think about Tom Brady. Nobody thought he would have done what he's done. You got to be in the right situation with the right players around you, with the right scheme. Garrett Nussmeier's good enough when healthy to go play in the NFL. What else you got?
David Harvard and Carl Sagan think you should be hired as a O-line coach.
Man, they ain't got enough money over there. Y'all talking about all this money. They ain't got enough money, but they could make me think about it, you know.
Scott Harrington said the run game looked good at times.
It did look good at times. And like I said, up front, we got better. I think we're getting better as the run game goes along. To me, there's not enough going on. I hate slow developing runs in between the guards. And I think that's a lot of what we do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's slow developing. We don't hit it quick, and then
we never try to stretch anything outside.
We don't try to stretch it. There's nothing that we do that tries to stretch a defense. And when they know you're in the shotgun and your back is offset and everything you're doing is happening right there in front of them, there's no stress on a defensive tackle. There's no stress on a linebacker, and you see it. Some of our best runs are when we send a guy in motion.
We don't have those backs that can run up the middle like that. The two backs that we have are more speed backs that we need to try.
They're one cut. They're cut. They're shifty backs. But you watch even Vanderbilt, what they did today. Watched it in Zachary, and I don't know why we don't do it at LSU. But you send a guy in motion, you make them respect that speed sweep, and it makes everybody. You have to hesitate. We're not doing anything formationally with our motions and our shifts to make a defense have to hesitate.
Mm-hmm.
They see everything happening right in front of them, and now it's just go beat your man. And that's what's wrong with this scheme. We're not doing enough to help our guys out. We're getting a stink eye from this woman over here.
It was a good game coming on right now, Ole Miss and Georgia.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are going to go watch this game, and we'll have some more comments. I don't know what I'm going to do. I might go dig a hole and jump in that thing back there. This is frustrating to watch. Got to get this guy to homecoming. Look, it started raining, kind of like the tears in my eyes. I'll do some more videos later. It's not a good point in the program for the LSU Tigers. Not where we want it to be. You're never good with losing to Vandy. Something's got to change. I don't know what it is. Might have to be my draws. But snap back with T-Mac. We want to thank our sponsors, Jerry Lane, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. Guess what? I'm in a Dodge, and I love it.
I'm in a Jeep, and I love it.
You love? Hey, come on. Come on. So you preach it to the choir, wall-to-wall, roofing and construction. You need somebody to protect your blind side. You need a new roof. Fortified Roofs is what they have over there at Wall to Wall. Call them. They're looking to help you out. 225-605 Wall. Chris's Specialty Foods. They slacking a little bit, bro. I had to cook breakfast. Had to cook my own food today. But no, Tressie and Randy over there, they called and want to know if we wanted food. And I'm like, I'm going to cook some breakfast this early game. But we'll be back next week. Chris's. Y'all don't forget about Chris's. Their daily lunch specials. Y'all look them up on Facebook on their Highland Road location. If you're out in that area, the lunch specials they put out over there, son, whoo, they good. So for Madden McClure, Todd McClure, for our producer, Big H, Heidi McClure, we appreciate y'all for joining us.
At least the Falcons got something going on, you know what I mean?
Y'all go watch the Falcons tomorrow night. Some of y'all got to go watch the Saints. That's y'all's team. Let's go rise up, baby. Bijan.